the Ruby Seminar in 1996.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my daughter, a member of the Ruby Go Get Area Independent Senior Sales Director, Brenda Fenner.
Cheers to you, Ruby Seminar! I'm so delighted to speak to you. Not just because I'm a high I and I don't mind the stage, but I've come to realize that myself and the Sunshine Express unit that I get to represent and my offspring directors have so much to share because our blood runs pink. Someone in this audience last year asked if our unit the name was spelled S-U-N or S-O-N. And that is the biggest compliment you could give us, because we do give God the glory. I want to give my unit a big hand, and I also want you to applaud for all the directors and the units who so generously adopt my consultants. Thank you. And how about all of you who pour into me? You know who you are, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mary Kay, for giving us nights like last night when we all felt beautiful like princesses, right? When I was in the shower this morning for like 40 minutes, with the Skin Vigorate brush continuing, thinking, wake up, face, wake up, face. I had an ice bucket in my room. I had my feet in the ice bucket, and I was like this, trying to get the feet to go down, the swelling to go down. I would switch feet and keep going with the thing, going, wake up, face, wake up, face. But anyway, I still have memories of last night, and they will carry me through with the goals for next year, right? So you saw my beautiful mom, Senior National Sales Director Emeritus Jessie Logan. She had been a successful director most of my life. So when I got ready to go to college, I asked her about being a consultant. When she explained the marketing plan, I thought, wow, that's better than any job I could get in college. If I could just sell one mascara, I could buy a pitcher of beer. 32 years later, can I just tell you how much fun it's been for me to never have to have another job? Thank you, Mom. I've had the joy of knowing that if I would help enough women feel good about themselves, help them feel more beautiful and more confident, that I could support myself with this business. This business that to me, this career that seems like kind of a cross between fantasy land and an action thriller. You know what I mean? And that's what I want for you. It's fabulous, and that's what I want for all of you too. In fact, the working hard, playing hard motive that my mom kind of like passed down is something I really, really thrive on. When I began Mary Kay, I really didn't envision myself going on top director trips. That seemed to be for her. And now I can't imagine not going. Last year being in Beijing and Shanghai was such a fascinating experience that I am still talking about it. This year, the top trips are to Maui and San Francisco. First class, 4 seasons. Now, understand, everyone knows that these trips are better than any trip you've ever been on. Mary Kay pays for luxuries that most of us would never buy ourselves. No one wants to miss them, unless it's your daughter's first family weekend at Ole Miss.
Woo!
We We won't be going to San Francisco, but the company continues to amaze me when they're willing to fly us out of Memphis instead of Dallas so that we can be there for Caitlin. So we'll still go to Maui. It's no wonder that in June, my daughter Caitlin came to me and said, "How's the unit doing?" I said, "We're doing great, almost to 800,000, but we got to keep going." She said, "Mom, I've been thinking about it. I want to join now so that I can help." And within 3 days, she had her first party. She had 2 other jobs, so she had to wait 2 days because she was working. But within 3 days, she had her first party of 9. So it's so fun. Over the weekend, we're shopping and making headboards from scratch for dorm. That's all new. And now she's gotten to be here at seminar. Our 16-year-old son, Kyle, began driving in February, and he gets to be here as my mom's guest. And yes, as a mom, I do miss driving him and his friends around. But for those of you with young kids who can't imagine, I will say yes, it does free up your time. So, it used to be that when Mark was out of town, I would take the kids to all of their 3 million activities. And now I say, "Kyle, honey, could you take Mom somewhere?" And then I get to talk to him as we drive around in his really cool sports car. So it's really fun. He still plays lots of sports. I love watching his basketball especially, and I've always volunteered for whatever they need. But this spring, most of his postseason games were on my meeting night. You know what? He completely understood that I wouldn't be at those games. Our meeting is a commitment to Mary Kay and to those who attend. And my kids, my kids have watched Mark and I as players on the team, and they've watched us lead the team. And either way, they know and we all know that if you yourself will play hard for the team, you will win yourself. Sometimes commitments must take priority over desires. And I just have to add that we were extremely proud of Kyle for spending his first week out of school on a mission trip to Ecuador. I think he knows a little bit about priorities. I am blessed to have an incredible family. I have a wonderful husband of 20 years that I did put on a goal poster 21 and a half years ago, and met him shortly after that. Mark is a great husband, a great dad, and an all-around fantastic leader. 2.5 years ago, he quit his stable, secure job to follow his passion. And we've always had an energetic, fabulous family life. But when the head of the household gets to do what they want to do, can I just say there's like a whole new level of enthusiasm at our house. So happy for you, honey. So, I think it's been like 2 years ago, Mark came bouncing home after one of his conventions, and he had met a guy named Nick Buwakovich. He had totally impressed Mark. He speaks about 200 days a year, sharing his passion for life. Mark came home and told me all about it. He's admired the stories that Nick was explaining about how Nick's gone out, and because of his talks has really changed lives. He went on to say, thank goodness it didn't work when at age 8 he tried to commit suicide. You see, Nick was born without arms or legs. It's hard for us to imagine what that would be like. Growing up was very difficult. So he went on, and in high school, he had a car service. And after the car service, he would talk to the janitor because he usually had to wait. Well, you see, Nick had been saved at 15. So he had a whole new look on life. The janitor began to have a vision for Nick. He would say, you've overcome so much. You've got to go talk to people. You've overcome so much adversity. You've got to tell your story. Nick, you have to share your faith. Nick couldn't imagine that anybody would want to look at him or listen to him. But eventually, he started sharing his story with small groups, usually kids. For a couple of years, it didn't really grow, kind of like what happens the first few years of some of the things that we try, right? But after 2 years of speaking, he went back to a place that he had been re-invited, and there were 150 people there. He noticed some girls on the front row had begun to cry, and afterwards one of them came up and hugged him and said, Nick, I've never felt that I had any value until you shared your story. He knew right then what difference he could make, and so now he goes everywhere. In fact, a few months ago, he was in Hawaii. He spoke 18 times in 7 days. He spoke to over 3,000 people, and over 7,000 people, and about 3,000 of them came to know the Lord. Because he was willing to step out. He passionately wants to put a dent in teen suicides. So just imagine, at one point he felt horrible about himself because he looked at what he didn't have and not what he did have. Has anyone ever been guilty of that? But who made a difference? A janitor that believed in him, that took the time to get to know him, to listen, to breathe belief in him. Think about how one person's sincere efforts can impact the lives across the world. And ladies, that's what we do in this business. Our opportunity provides hope. Of course, I need to point out that Nick showed up for school. He wasn't at home feeling sorry for himself. There's where he found his inspiration. Just like when we show up for success events, retreats, conference calls, seminars, we give ourselves the opportunity to learn and to be inspired. Obedience pays. My mom always said those who show up, go up. So give yourselves a hand. Well, this was a year of growth for us. I am thankful for my prayer group, the books that our unit study, a new meeting routine for me, my consultants being able to go to great meetings out of town for me, and the local directors meetings. The reason that we call ourselves the Sunshine Express Unit is because I really believe that those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. Our unit is full of fantastic women. Yvonne drives an hour one way to attend meetings faithfully and always asks how she can help or what she can bring. Becky recruited a young gal who didn't stay committed, but her mom read everything that came to the house and is now a consultant, hoping to get rid of the 2 very physically draining jobs that she has. Lisa started a pay it forward lipstick giveaway for her customers. She always has guests at the meetings and shared this opportunity with 3 really neat women. Amy went through some really major disappointments last year, but this year she decided she wanted to take it up a notch. She took a fresh look at her skill set and worked diligently to get better, even though she was already fabulous. Instead of looking at how many bookings can I get, she thought, how many women can I add value to? You saw her in the Queen's Court of Sales last night, and she was number 14 at the Go Give area. She did 50 faces in June, and her team member, Laura, who also has one of those hectic lives like so many of us have, full-time job, son and grandson living in her home. She did 32 faces in June. She called me so excited, screaming at 10:30, a good scream, 10:30 at night on June 30th because she was placing over $800 in a wholesale order, not just to help our unit, but to help her. She's now on target for Star Consultant, and I bet she'll be a Star Consultant every quarter this year because she proved to herself what she could really do when she set her mind to it. And Carrie's mom passed away last week on the day she was moving out of the home that her former husband had owned for years. But guess who was the first to reply to an email that I sent about seminar, letting us know that we could count on her. She wanted us to know that her mom fought a hard battle for 8 years and that she was in a better place. Carrie is here at seminar, just like these other ladies, being thoughtful and go-give, just like she is at home. Because she is always lifting others up, and even when she spent most of her time recently in hospice with her mom, she would go out and do her appointments, come back to hospice because she is self-supportive with her Mary Kay. When people in hospice couldn't sleep at night, Carrie would offer to do something that would pamper them, something to make them feel better. And because of the love that she poured out on others in the midst of really, really hard months for her, she placed over $2,000 in the month of June and was recognized in the Princess Court at the Go Give Night. And it doesn't stop there. Guess what she said to me about her Princess Court jewelry that she got? She said, Brenda, you know, I know that Lori, one of our consultants, is in the hospital for a whole month. Wouldn't it be nice if we all wrote her notes and I'll send her my jewelry? Oh. Okay, that's what kind of fantastic women that I get. That's why I'm like so proud to be up here, is because our whole unit is so fabulous and I get to represent them. My husband brought home another very impactful story. This was the 2014 commencement speech at UT. Write that down. It had to do with changing the world. The speaker was an admiral who was a Navy SEAL for 36 years. I suggest you look it up on YouTube. It is powerful. He talked about the lives that you and I can change. If you reach out to 10, and they reach out to 10, and they reach out to just 10, soon it's in the millions. So I want to ask you, who are you breathing belief in? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be the janitor encouraging someone to get out there? Are you going to be the person that goes out on the big platform and others can be empowered by? Either way you do it, it's all important. There are so many women to reach, and nothing can hold us back. Our unit is about empowering women by looking and feeling their best, can also reach out and fulfill their God-given potential. You'll see these ladies shining brighter as we become a national area this year. Let's go out and make it a better world. That's why Mary Kay